In this video, I'm going to show you how to install your 80mm Prosport EVO series gauges and go over their functions. Alrighty, so you're going to go ahead and open it. You want to make sure that you have everything. So you're going to have your power wire harness. You're going to have a daisy chain harness. You're going to have your sensor wire. It's going to come with some spacers and a mounting bracket. And then obviously your gauge, whichever one you have. This is the speedometer, this is the tachometer. They're the same size, they look the same off, but they are obviously different. Alrighty, and then real quick, show you how the standoffs and all that work. So you just pretty much thread these standoffs onto here. I don't know if you really need to pull those nuts off. Then you just slide this on. Essentially, you're going to put a hole in something, slide this through, and then you're going to put this behind it, and it's going to sandwich it in between here. And then you just pretty much tighten this down, and it's going to hold it in place. The way we're going to be mounting these gauges is we're just pretty much press fitting them in there. So just figured I'd go over this since we won't be using the mounting bracket. All right, so we're going to go ahead and install this 80mm speedometer gauge here. And first off, you're just going to start off plugging your power harness like so. Then you're going to have a black wire, white wire, red wire, and a green or orange wire. Wow. So black wire is your ground, white is your 12-volt switch, red is power or constant 12 volts, and then your orange is your dimmer switch. Then you're going to have your daisy chain. You do not need to use this unless you have multiple gauges. If you do, you just go ahead, plug it in there, grab your other gauge, and, plug it in, and then you have power to both of these gauges. It's one thing I like about them because it's one, and then you're done. And then for the speedometer, you plug in this, and then you can run this sensor wire to your VSS off of your ECU or trans. It may differ between vehicles, so you may have to do some research figuring out what you're going to need to do. And then say you don't want to hook up to that or you don't have that option, they do have a GPS sensor that you can get that is sold separately, so you'll have to pick that up from them as well. But that's the general gist, so let's install them. Alrighty, so this one's a bit different. So this is all your colors. This one cycles you through your odometers and trips. If you press and hold this left one, you hear a beep, and now it doesn't set off any warnings. Or it won't beep. Basically, it would set your warning too. So to set your warning, you press and hold this when it's at the home screen, and then you can set it to whatever speed you want. And then obviously when you are above that, it's going to beep or show you this warning light. The warning light will always be on. You can't shut off the light, but you can shut off the audio. So like if you want to see your peak, which is 0, so basically you press this and your peak light will be on. This is going to show you what your max speed is. We just reset that. So when you're in that, so you press that and you press and hold again. And when the light starts flashing, it's resetting, so then it's reset. Obviously, you don't really see a visual because we haven't gone anywhere. And then if you want to, say, reset this trip, you literally press and hold both of these, and then it resets the trip. And you got a trip A, trip B, and you also got an odometer. So I don't know if you can set the odometer, but
no, you can't.
So you can't reset the odometer once that's going. This one we went with a GPS unit, which is very reactive. We'll jump to a clip right now of how reactive it is to speed. Obviously you don't really have anything else to compare it to, but it'll show you how fast this reacts. So here's kind of the difference between them. So we're going 35, and then obviously as he gives it, trying to hold this is very difficult. So yeah, I mean, this thing ain't no slouch for what it is. Yeah, so that kind of shows you how reactive it is. And then quickly hit the center guy. And then,
Just wait. I'll leave that.
So obviously in that short burst we hit 71. So that's kind of how it works for telling you that. I guess it would, if the audio would have been on, it would have warned him.
Yeah,
so
it would have.
But yeah, other than that, that's all I got for this one. So if you need that, link in the description, and yeah, that's what you got to look forward to, a quality gauge.